You're feeling stuck or simply feel like you need a spiritual or energetic supercharge, then you have found the right video. The reason I'm coming to you guys today is often people will find me to come to me for, call it energy work or spiritual assistance, and they don't really know what they're walking to when they come to a session with me. So, what I thought I'd do was take a beat just to walk through what my sessions look like and how they can help you in your life. So, before I jump into what the sessions look like, I want to make a few disclosures or disclaimers about what it is that you can expect, just kind of broadly when you are walking into and let me reiterate this, a donation-based session. I am not charging a flat fee for these sessions. All my sessions are donation based for as long as I can pull that off. I'm going to continue to do that. But the first disclaimer that I always make to everyone who comes to my sessions is that this is not a typical psychic reading. You are not coming to me to hear what your future will be. Remember, timelines are shifting all the time, and you can make a conscious decision that, you know what, I don't want to experience that prediction, right? So things can always change. Psychics are typically just reading the energy of that moment. With that said, I do get messages, as you're about to find out, throughout the sessions, and I always share them with my clients. But this isn't really a typical psychic reading when you're coming to me. Number two, the other big disclaimer is that I will always respect your energy. If there is ever any part of my session that you do not feel comfortable with, you feel like you don't need it, or you simply just don't want to experience it, then I won't do it. And just as spirit respects and honors my preferences and my energetic field, I like to extend that same courtesy to you. So just know that if you come sit with me, you could always say, no, Miriam, that's not okay. And I will immediately stop in my tracks and move on to the next part of the session. Number three, what you should also know before we jump into how the sessions work is that the biggest gift that I use during my sessions is and are my clairsentient abilities. I am a lifelong empath and clairsentient, among other gifts that I have. But what I use for my sessions is my physical body as a conduit to, one, relay messages to you through channeling, again, which we'll talk about in a moment, but also to do energy work for you. So I feel a lot through my physical body to do this work and to assist you along. And lastly, this is a co-creative process. This isn't, again, I'm not giving you a reading, even though messages are coming through. What is happening, it is you, me, and I am pulling in spirit to change the vibration in your life so that you can create the life that you want to live, right? So let's jump into it. How do the sessions work? What do they look like? So they run through three parts, and the first part is a clearing. So, and that's the part I'll usually ask you for your permission for up front. And it is a very important part of the process because throughout our lives, and really throughout all of our lifetimes, and collectively, right, on a collective basis, on a societal and world stage, we have collected a lot of trauma that is sitting in our energetic field that is holding us back from creating the life that we want. It is creating a heaviness, a lower vibrational energy that is really holding us back from stepping into our power and stepping into what is truly possible for each of our lives. So, although I don't really love that part of the sessions, it is very important to go through the process of clearing some of these traumas from your energetic field. And the way that I do that, remember, I'm clairsentient. So what I will do is I will tap into your energy and I will do a chakra check. And I will see where I am feeling in my physical body the blockages that are holding you back. And the way that I experience it, and I like everybody to know what I'm experiencing as I go through this process, is I experience it as physical pain. So if I'm getting pain in my heart chakra, it is actually physical pain for me. Sometimes I get incredible headaches. It just depends where the blockages are, but that's where I'm experiencing it. And that's how I can come back to you and say, okay, this is where we need to clear. And then we go through a process where we will begin to clear whatever it is that is creating that physical pain for me and for you energetically in your chakra system, clearing those blockages for you so that we can then make room for replacing what we just cleared with higher vibrational frequencies in order to help you step into your best life or what you would like as your outcomes in this lifetime. So that's how step one goes. We'll go through this clearing process. I will only usually clear one trauma at a time because you will find as you sit with me as it can be pretty intense, but you are always welcome to come back to me. If you find that part of the process to be helpful, you are always welcome to come back to me for more sessions. So that's step one. Then we move on to step two, which is actually my favorite part of the process, and that's the activation portion. So now that we've cleared, we move into raising your vibration. And this is where I bring in my guides. And for those of you who don't know me or have never had a session with me, the guides that I am relying upon or tapping into are an ET collective that I channel. So I will call my ET friends in. I will walk you through a meditative process to get you ready to receive all of the energies that they're going to send. And you can make specific requests. I will certainly request them. And here's what happens. Again, I like for you guys to know what's going on in my energetic field, but I am opening up my crown chakra. I physically feel that happen. I am making the requests in that you would like to see, the changes you would like to see in your life. And I am bringing them through my crown chakra. And I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like a lightning bolt. I feel this energetically goes through my head, into my arms, and I collect it in my hands. And once I do, and again, I can feel this energy in my hands. When I feel it fully, I then push it to you, and I don't stop pushing it to you until the sensations in my hands are gone. And just so you know, in case you're interested, and I find this to be really fascinating, no matter who I sit with, the sensations in my hand tend to vary. So sometimes it's like electricity, sometimes it's a magnetic field, sometimes it's just heat. So it's all different for each person. So it's a very interesting thing that I've noticed. But I will do this while you're in a meditative state. And I also give you an opportunity to use this meditative state to create something incredible for yourself in life. So that's that. But there's two things that are going on while I am doing this energy work and while you're in meditation. Number one, I play subliminal music for you or messages for you in the background. You do not hear the words, you only hear the music. That way your conscious mind cannot judge what is coming through. And all the information is going to your subconscious mind. And the other thing that's happening is as I'm doing this energy work, I am tapping into my guides for any messages for you based on whatever it is that we talked about that day. So I am getting a download of messages. And when I bring you out of meditation, and once we're done with the activation portion, the energy work portion, I am then sharing those messages with you. So that's part two. Part three, and I know a lot of people get excited about this. I think it's great too. It's not my favorite, but it's a great part of the process, is your tarot card reading. So before you actually log on, I will shuffle my cards, and I will allow for at least 3 jumper cards. So these are the cards that fly out of the deck. In other words, I am not picking the cards. This is completely me handing everything over to Spirit process, this entire third part. So I'm letting Spirit pick the cards. Sometimes I get more than 3, but usually it's about 3 cards. And I have them laid out in front of me before you even join the call. And then in this third part, I will go into a trance channeling state. I will then again allow my ET collective friends and family to take over my physical body, again, only if you're comfortable with it. And I will have them do your card reading for you. So I'm not doing the reading, my guides are doing the reading. Once I come out of the trans-channeled state, I will then show you the tarot cards that came out for you and match them to what the guides have read for you. And as my good friend Peter De Benedictis from the Becoming Awesome community has asked me to remind you, is don't get so hung up on the words, although I think the words are great. But the energies that are coming through from the trans-channeling session alone are even more impactful than the words themselves. So think of it as a double activation process between the activation that you get during meditation and then the trans-channeled message that you get from my guides as they read your tarot cards. And I want to share something really interesting about the tarot card portion of these sessions. So, and many of you know, and those of you who haven't had a chance to meet me yet, is I'm a big dreamer. I do a lot of work in my sleep state and my dream state. I talk to deceased loved ones in my dream state. And I have an aunt who passed away in 2021, and she used to read tarot cards. And I don't need tarot cards to trans channel. I like to play with them because I just love divinity tools. But I don't need it. I could always do trans channeling without it. You'll find that in some of my other videos. I've done channeling sessions. But I was working out in my dreams before I started offering this service, how I was going to set up these sessions. I was literally saying, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I want everybody to have a great experience. And then I asked out loud to myself, should I incorporate tarot cards into these sessions? And as soon as I asked that, my deceased aunt, who used to read tarot cards, appeared before me. In fact, it was the back of her head. It's like clear as day, remembering this dream. But it was the back of her head, and she suddenly turned around, faced me, and said, "Of course you're going to use tarot cards." And I laughed. And I said, okay, sure, if you say so, I'll use the tarot cards. If you came to me in a dream, it must be important for me to incorporate the tarot in this process. But what I found is that the visuals that the tarot deck provide are incredibly helpful in getting the messages across, because what I have noticed is that you guys, as you do these sessions with me, maybe I'm channeling one message, but I'll show you the card and you'll say, oh my God, that resonates because XYZ. So you'll be able to intuit some of your own messages as I go through the tarot cards. So really interesting. I'm really happy that my aunt stepped in this way to force me to use the tarot deck in these sessions. So that's it. That's really the crux of the process. That usually takes about 90 minutes, an hour to 90 minutes, depending on if it's your first time or your third time coming to me with a session. And we can do any variation of that that you want to do. If you want to, cut out the clearing process, or you want to cut out the channeling, it does not make a difference. I, again, will always honor and respect your energy. So however you want it to go, we will do it. I just want you to have the best experience possible. If you do not want to book a donation-based session with me, again, remember, I'm not charging a flat fee for these services. This is just whatever you can gift. I completely accept and appreciate with all of my heart and soul, and I wish that it comes back to you in multitudes if you can give in any way. But if you can't or don't feel like doing a session and you simply just want to receive either channeled messages, spiritual insights, what else do I do? I do meditations, guided meditations online. And now I'm starting to bring on experiencers of different kinds. I just posted a near-death experience on my YouTube channel. I'm planning to bring some more interesting stories on. If that's the kind of content you want to see without having a session, just make sure to subscribe to my channel. I am relatively new. It's been just over a month since I launched, but it's already growing pretty fast. So again, super grateful to all of you for that. So if you just like this kind of content, then just subscribe to the channel. You don't have to sit through a session with me, but if you would like to, make sure to head over to activateyourlight.com, and my calendar and booking is there. I try my best to keep my calendar as available as I can. So just go ahead and book a session with me at my website there. With that, I will catch you all on the next video, and I also want to wish you all an incredible holiday season.